We are back with Omar
Hi.
again.
Hi again.
Hi. So you just finished university.
hmm
How much more time you got in university?
well, this is my eighth term. My last term, I'm working on my dissertation. And I wanted to tell you this also. My dissertation is on criminology. It's
Wow.
a proposal to lace criminologists in school to watch and prevent antisocial conducts from
Wow.
happening within ages 13 to 18, so that those guys that are the most vulnerable to drug use, crime commission,
Yeah.
don't ever do it. Don't,
To
so that
prevent crime.
they don't give the first step. We call the first step to this very first action into criminal life.
Wow. Do you think you'll ever run for something politically? President, mayor, something really? Because you seem to like change and influencing better for Mexican people.
I've thought about it. When I was in, I don't like much the side of law in my degree,
Yeah.
but I did come across the idea when I was in third semester about becoming a senator or maybe a representative.
Wow.
Maybe first for Puebla or Mexico City, and then for the Union Congress.
Mm.
That way I could make a change. But that was in third grade. Last year, because of what I want to major in, next year I want to do my master's in criminal profiling.
Yeah.
Last year I was thinking about joining the police workforce.
Wow.
And this year I'm still thinking about becoming a police officer. But I also want to, I don't know, I want to continue teaching. 10 years as an English professor. Now that I'm getting my degree, maybe I can teach at a high school, at a
Yeah.
university. I can teach social history. I don't know, many things. I'm still thinking about it. And after that, after I finish my degree, and alongside my master's, I want to study architecture because I want to
Wow.
specialize in penitentiary architecture. So I can
Wow.
design prisons.
Prisons.
So PPL, well, PPLs, or people deprived from their liberty,
Yeah.
I could translate it that way, could have better infrastructure and they could live better because they're still human and they still have human rights, and we should respect them. We ought to respect them.
That's like so both of your profession choices are quite interesting because both of them require you to give back and help support people. Police, with the police on us, they have a very bad name in Mexico in terms of corruption and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has that always been the case, or is that?
As far as I know it, we normally, well, in America they call them pigs. Here we also call them cerdos. We call them pigs as well.
Cerdos. In case you guys don't know, that means pig, right? In Spanish.
And yeah, there's.
You don't want to call them chicharrones?
Well, they often look like that. Not. I'm not. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but they
No,
too
come
look
across.
like that.
Yeah, they look like that.
And well, as I was in this class earlier, this is. I don't know what to say the ontología in English.
Okay.
Maybe the ontology, but I'm not sure that's the appropriate word.
Yeah.
I have a class in which I'm going back. No, it's a seminary. It's a seminary. I'm going back through the law and the criminology side of my degree.
Mm-hmm.
We are reviewing everything, and we're checking some legislations. And one of them yesterday, I saw one of the many federal legislations here in Mexico. It is the it has to do with confianza, with trust
Okay.
in the administrative and judicial power, because it is a big issue. People don't trust the police.
Wow.
You see a police on the street here in Mexico, and me myself. This is something I also want to say because
Yeah.
it's the whole thing. I don't want to omit
Yeah.
anything. I used to do weed,
Smoke
not
weed.
not very long ago,
Yeah.
but I stopped, and I feel really good that I've been clean for about half a year, I think.
Great.
And even before that, when I was in high school in Mexico City, you would see police officers and you would think that you should go a little faster or go into a store, because if they detain you for some reason,
Wow.
for any reason,
Wow.
they can find you some cocaine and say
Wow,
that
I heard
you
that.
had it on
Yeah, I
you,
heard that.
and you're charged with felony just
Yeah.
because they want money. They want to get a bribe, a mordida.
Yeah. There was a concert in Mexico City. I was standing there. Some police women were talking to me. We were smiling, laughing. It was a nice vibe. All of a sudden, like 20 police, like I'm not even exaggerating, they came and they bum rushed me and started pushing me out. Get out of here, grabbing me, and then they were gonna like probably like take me to the corner and beat me up. That's what I was thinking. And then they just let me go, but they told me don't come back here. And I was like, what's the deal with that? Everyone else is standing around. Why me? And even then, someone said to me they could have planted something on you if they wanted to. And it was just a strange experience. Like, why would that happen? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, comparing, I believe it is Iceland.
Yeah.
Police officers don't have, well, not only police officers, but also going back to the corruption topic and abuse of power.
Yeah.
I believe it is Iceland where public service and police officers do not have to pay for rent. The government gives them a house.
Wow. I never
They
knew
give
this.
them food, vouchers, I don't know,
Everything.
school
Yeah.
aid for their children and family, health insurance. And here
Wow.
in Mexico, one of the main reasons why police officers have to get a mordida, they normally get a bribe, is to begin with they have to pay for their food, their own food. There are communal places where police officers can go eat, but there's not enough budget to cover all of them.
yeah.
So they have to pay the food, they have to pay the, I don't know, their transport, their petrol, the cars, their children's tuition if they go to private schools or if they go to public school. Even here, public school in Mexico, maybe you know, state school.
Yeah.
You also have to pay for many things. You have to pay
Meals.
for the books, for
Yeah.
meals, for
Oh, the books.
transport. That's there was a study from 2017 that explained that this was one of the main reasons why politicians and the corruption
Yeah.
topic is so big here in Mexico. I believe that making a change as a representative or a senator, you could present a law. You could try and present something, a project, so that the Congress accepts it and people get, these public servers get more benefits. But it'll be difficult because just the senators and representatives will want that money for themselves, and they won't approve any of those benefits for police workforces. So that they can keep those bonuses and that money for themselves.
Yeah. Tell me one thing that bothers you about Mexico that really upsets you or makes you feel sad. Whether it's poverty, whether it's just just whatever you could think of, something that if you was to become a politician, you would change straight away.
The inequity when it comes to opportunity.
You think it's limited opportunity here?
There is a very, very horrible thing we say here in Mexico, and I don't think it's only Mexicans who say it. But el pobre es pobre porque quiere. The poor are poor because they want it, and they're not. You are born poor, and UN says that here in Mexico, at least here in Mexico, it takes you about 20 or 30 generations to escalate into the,
Higher.
social
Yeah.
social classes. And in other countries, it's even bigger a number. So imagine having to walk the land or sell trousers, sell candy on the street, just so that your children can go to uni, so that their children can go to uni and get a job, so that their children can get a better salary than you, and their children can buy a house.
That's crazy.
It would be your great, I don't know, many more great children, the ones that could escalate to the higher class. But it's really, really easy to go down into the social, this scale. And yes, there are programs. There are many people who give back to the community. There is this institution here in Mexico. It is called Instituto para devolverle lo robado al pueblo.
Okay.
It's the institute to return what has been robbed to the people.
Wow.
And it's this institution gives people. They make auctions so that money, I don't know, properties from the cartels,
Oh wow.
luxury cars or jewelry.
Donated.
And that money is donated to communities to get them out of poverty. But we really have to work with programs, social assistance, provide more. We have free here in Mexico. We have free health insurance.
Oh, you do?
With IMSS, Instituto Mexicano de Seguro Social, Social
Wow.
Security Mexican Institute. But it only works if you work for a company.
Okay.
You can only get insured if you work for a company.
Like
If
a
you,
bank or something like that, or
Not necessarily.
Okay, no?
You can work for, I don't know, a restaurant.
Yeah. Oh really?
They are obligated by law to
Insure you.
to insure you, and well, that's formal jobs, but not everyone has access to formal jobs. Sometimes you can only sell your chicken, you can sell your stock, you have to beg for money.
Wow.
Here in Mexico, as far as I know, we have a 65%. Maybe I'm wrong. I should check it, but we have 65% cases of extreme poverty in small communities. There is a community in Oaxaca which is almost 100% living in poverty, and well, I consider myself low class.
Wow.
Because my mother, who was in the military, she's retired. She now receives money from the military.
Is it enough? Or
No.
is it enough to get by?
She only gets like 17,000 a month, and she has to make 65,000 a month. But I don't live with her, so I myself am low class because I earn like 8,000 a month. That is not enough for me to get rent. I live with my family. I should get 30,000
Yeah.
for me to get a house, for me to
Yeah.
pay services, the electric, the water.
Wow.
There's also transport, and if I wanted to get a car, I would also have to pay for the car maintenance.
Yeah, cars are expensive.
And here in Mexico, you need to earn 75 or 85,000 amount to be considered high class.
Whoa.
And those in extreme poverty are those who can't even afford to buy food for the day.
Wow.
100 pesos a day, and in Mexico the minimum wage is 207 a day, and there are people who can only get 100 a day. That's not enough with 7 kids, with a wife,
Wow.
with a crippled
Yeah.
relative. Fortunately, there are the Wellness Secretariat, Secretaría de Bienestar. Now it is on the Constitution. There are it's not donations. It's I forgot the word. It's monthly money the government gives you.
Okay, like allowance or
Yeah,
something
something like that.
some sort of-
A benefit
Yeah,
for
benefit.
the elder, for the
Yeah, benefit.
handicapped,
Yeah.
and there's another vulnerable group. Single mothers.
Are we talking Puebla or Mexico?
It's in the Constitution, so it's federal.
Oh,
it's
federal.
all Mexico.
Okay. So single mothers do get an allowance, some sort.
Yeah, and they also get daycare, free daycare, and they get assistance.
Wow.
For the elders, my godmother,
Yeah.
she is 60. No, she turned 71 last year. She's turning 72 this year. The Secretaría de Bienestar, again, the Wellness Secretariat, they give a benefit for the elders. It's 6,000 pesos
Wow.
every 2 months. But because the elections are coming soon in June, they got 2 of those deposits ahead. So she got 12,000 pesos, but she has to stretch them
Yeah.
until June because she will not receive it
Wow.
until after the elections. And well, my mother, who was in the military, she got her. I don't remember the word. It's when you retire and you get your money.
Oh, your pension.
Your pension.
Pension.
It's the same in Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
why
is,
I forgot
it
it.
is.
She got her pension, but only because she was in the military. People who started working after 1997 here in Mexico will no longer get pensions. I will never get pensions.
Wow.
And there's a proposal to change the law so that in the next, I don't know, in the next year or maybe 2 years, people start getting entering the pensions program, because when people who started working in 1997 start dying, after them no one will get pensions again.
That's mad.
So you have to get yourself, you have to hire this, I don't know the name, but you have to go to a bank, get assistance from the bank, and then start giving them, giving them a monthly amount,
Allowance,
so
yeah.
that when you're 65, you can get money.
What made you want to teach English? Was it something growing up you just liked the way the language was, or just watching movies, English movies, or certain? What inspired you to choose that? Because in Mexico, English isn't really predominantly spoken or cared about. Let's say it's mostly Spanish, right?
I had the chance. When I finished studying English, of course it wasn't perfect. Of course it isn't perfect now, but it's still a work in progress. But when I finished studying English, when I got the chance to work for the same company I studied with.
Okay.
I worked with them for 2 years, then I started teaching by myself. Last year, I worked for 4 months
Yeah.
in a school center. I was teaching kindergarten, primary, secondary, and high school.
Wow.
Um,
Definitely easier than Spanish, right?
yeah. I mean, it's easy for me because I speak it.
Yeah,
it's my
no,
mother
but the
language,
male and female words, drive me crazy.
But after a couple months, after I started teaching, I believe I found my passion.
Mm.
I'm not sure if I will be an English teacher my whole life, but I do want to be a teacher my whole
In
life.
England.
Maybe. One of my plans a few years ago was to move there and open a Spanish school
Wow. That would do well. That would do well.
in Newcastle.
Wow.
You know, I also even know the street I want to live in.
Wow. You've done your research.
Yeah. But I found my passion in teaching. I want to teach history. I want to teach socials. After I get my master's in criminal profiling, I would love to start teaching in a university. I want to be a criminology professor.
5 years from now, where would you say you want to see yourself or hope to see yourself?
I want to be a detective.
Wow.
I want to be a detective and a professor, and I want to give back to the community by helping others understand why criminals do what they do, and helping those in need, those in prisons, reintegrate society. Many years ago, we used to call prisons here in Mexico,
Yeah.
we used to call them centros de rehabilitación social, social rehabilitation
Yeah,
centers.
yeah, yeah.
But there's nothing to rehabilitating these people. We have to reintegrate them.
So, like in England, like some people think the prisons are like a holiday camp. They have TV, food. They even have education there. They can. Is it not the same in Mexico, right?
Unfortunately not. I wish it were like that. I wish we actually respect them.
Like you can come out with a degree. Like you can leave the prison with a degree in like gas, plumbing, whatever. Like just.
You can. Yeah, you can finish school. You can finish high school if you didn't. Even if you didn't finish elementary, you can study. But the problem here in Mexico is that we don't really pay attention to reintegrating them back into society. We just want them out of the streets.
Yeah.
And many people in my school, in my classroom, my professor, one of my favorite professors, Olguin, he says that unless we do something about prisons and penal law and criminology and reintegration, jails and prisons are, well, especially prisons and federal prisons, are
Always gonna be full.
universities of crime.
Oh,
You
yeah, yeah,
enter a felon and you come out masters in, I don't know, organized crime.
Wow. You think criminals are created by the government in some ways because of the system?
Indirectly, yeah, because they don't have an opportunity to study, or because of society as well, because they are tagged, because they have a tattoo, you have a tattoo, and then you're a criminal. My mother says, told me many times that if I ever got a tattoo, or if I ever got a piercing, I actually want to show you this.
Tattoos are really big in Mexico. I hate
Yeah.
tattoos.
I have this.
Oh, the piercing.
Uh-huh.
Let me zoom into that. Has she seen that?
Yeah, she's seen it.
Uh-huh.
And she says that they're criminals. Those are for criminals. And she always tells me that if when I got the piercing, she told me that I looked like a criminal, and then I talked back to her and told her, well, maybe if I'm a criminal to you, I should go rob a bank. But there are, especially with religion, there are many.
Good English.
There's people are biased, and they have really strong opinions about homosexuality, about. I remember a few months ago, I went to take math.
Yeah.
I was just happily enjoying the sermon, and then a woman approached me and she said, because I'm not religious.
Was you ever religious growing up, Catholic?
Yeah, I was a Catholic once, but I found out that it wasn't enough for me. It
For
was,
your lifestyle? For who you are? Okay.
No offense to Catholics, but many people are really hypocrites.
Hypocrites, yep.
Hypocrites.
Yep. Religion, sadly, there's a lot of religious.
Mhm.
Every religion has them.
And this woman approaches to me because I didn't stand up, I didn't kneel when the priest asked us to,
Judged you.
and she asked if I had a condition. I said no, and she started yelling at me.
In the church.
Yeah, and she got really mad. She got really pissed, and I was enjoying what the priest said. He was talking about repentance,
Yeah.
and I did nothing to repent about that day because I was just enjoying what he was saying. I was, connecting, but the woman wasn't. She just wanted to show that she went to church, that she was a part of the community,
Yeah.
and that was enough for her to be proud about herself. But that doesn't give you the right to judge people and attack people, at least verbally, as she did
Not
with
in the
me.
church as well,
Especially in church. It's a place,
where you humble yourself.
and you have to respect. And well, it's something that it'll take us time.
Yeah.
My generation, I believe, is one of the generations that will make a change.
It seems so. It seems like a lot of voices are being stronger thanks to social media. A lot of tools now to provide a voice. You don't have to rely on a biased media or we was talking about this earlier on. You are the media now. You have your phone, you have your voice. You can put something up on TikTok or Instagram and immediately millions of people would be
Internet has
invested.
given us the right of democracy.
Democracy. No, democracy.
I want to verbalize it, to use it as a verb.
Oh, okay.
Democratize?
Democratize, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Democratize.
It has given us the right to democratize our voices
Yeah.
and knowledge. I want to show you this. I've been reading the paper
Okay.
for the last month. I've been buying my paper for the last month. I have a big pile of newspaper in my house, and I normally just go by the pages. And
So in England we have different papers that are kind of biased. Is it the same in Mexico?
Definitely, this is really biased.
This is more like what, Republican or Democratic or what? What's it more lean towards? Which party would you say favors more? Rich people, poor people?
I think it's a little more to the left.
Oh, liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like it
Yeah.
because it doesn't hide things,
Okay, it's more free. It's very okay.
but it obviously shows you what it wants to show. There is Reforma, which is more
Conservative.
Definitely, it is. This is our current government is with Morena. The current party is Morena, and this favors Morena a lot. But Reforma, El Universal, those papers, we have this candidate for the presidency, Xochitl Galvez.
Yeah.
One of the two women candidates.
Good or bad in your eyes? Hard to say.
I'm not a right person. I'm more of a left
Yep.
person, so I disagree with lots of her ideas. Claudia Sheinbaum, the other
Oh yeah,
woman
I was gonna bring her up.
candidate.
She's very left.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this paper gives her a lot of. They throw flowers at her.
Okay, a lot of good exposure, publicity.
Mm-hmm.
She was really hot last year. Like she was all over the place when I was in Mexico.
She was
She was really a voice.
chief of government.
Yeah, I was seeing her everywhere, like pictures and protests and everything. Last year, not yesterday. Last year there was like quite a big Claudia.
I like her because maybe I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll vote for her in the next elections.
Yeah,
I like some of her ideas.
yeah,
Back in the day when she was the chief, when she was the governor of Mexico City,
yeah.
many things changed, and I actually saw a change. But there are always up and downs when it comes to politicians, and here in Mexico we don't go for the best.
No,
We just go for the least
of the worst.
of the worst. That of all the options we have, there's always one that will. I have this Mexican word. Hay uno que nos va a chingar menos, the one that will cause us the less problems.
Ah,
So we go for that.
wow.
That's the option we have.
And do you think the cartel? Have you had any experience with cartel, like as coming across them
No.
just? But are they usually more anti-police and they don't really harm citizens, really, or do they still harm citizens?
In some regions of Mexico, people rely
Acapulco?
more on the narcos because the government doesn't have enough money, or because the politicians took it,
Yeah.
but there's not enough budget to improve the streets, to build any school, and those who actually do are the narcos. The cartels go and give them despensa. They give them some food. They give them money. They fix the roads. They
Wow.
fix the school. They open a new
cartel.
school. The cartels,
Wow.
especially in Michoacán, in Guerrero, and not in Veracruz, but in Jalisco. My mother has a house in Jalisco,
Yeah, yeah.
and she didn't want me to move there. I wanted to go there to finish my degree, but she didn't want me to because of how the situation is.
Yeah.
But yeah, people actually, some people actually have a better opinion about the cartels. They can rely more on them than they can actually do on the military or the police or politicians, the government.
Yeah. And 3 things you like about Mexico.
Oh, okay. The first one
It's
is
hard to just say 3, but let's the 3 main things.
our spirits.
Spirits as people.
You can.
Example.
Yesterday, when I met you,
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but I had a white bag with me and my friends.
Like a carry bag, a handbag, small bag, or I don't remember.
It was a plastic bag.
A plastic bag, okay.
But I met my friends there because the girl, Renee, she met a homeless man. And they talked. She liked him, and she told me and her fiance to get some stuff for him. We were looking for him to give him some food. I got some crackers, milk, sardines, and I got a 4th thing, but I forgot what. Beans, refried beans.
Yeah.
To give it to him, and the way she was so excited about giving a little something to him. She gave her 100 pesos when she met him.
Wow.
We didn't see him. We didn't find him because he wasn't there. But I'm not saying this just because she's my friend and I want to mean, people who will watch this video will never know who my friend is.
Yeah.
But and I'm not saying it for bragging either.
No.
It's because it is not the first time I've encountered myself with people who want to give back to the community, and I've come across many people who donate, who give people food. Recently there was an earthquake in Guerrero, in
Yeah,
Acapulco,
yeah, I heard about that.
and many people got lost their houses and their food.
Wow.
And there are many collection centers, if that's what you call them.
Yeah.
There were many collection centers in Puebla. Many companies in Puebla also donated money and goods and medicine. The military and the National Guard went over there to help those that got that were those who got affected
Yeah,
by the earthquake and the tsunami. When back in the day in 2017 with the earthquake in Mexico City, I was in Mexico City,
Okay.
and many people helped. Many people from other states in Mexico helped, the military as well. When the earthquake in Haiti, or the situation in 2011 with the earthquake in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm only thinking of earthquakes, but Mexico was there. Mexico was in Haiti, was in Tokyo, has been in many other places to provide.
Yeah.
The second thing I love about Mexico would be, obviously, my food, part of my heritage. I'm a cook myself. I'm a home cook. Not.
Wow.
Just a few weeks ago, I learned how to make chile guajillo because I had never tried to make chile guajillo, and I loved what I did because it came out really good. I made a caldo. I made a broth with some pork.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. And I told my godmother, because I live with my godmother, I told her that I wanted to try and do more guajillo things. And whenever you go out on the street,
Yeah.
you can find, here in Puebla, you can find chalupas, tacos,
Yeah, you can. But are they healthy though? That's the problem.
gorditas, memelas, chicken, seafood, yeah, of course, really cheap stuff. In Mexico City, again, gorditas, sopes. When I went to Jalisco, when I went to Guadalajara, I tried tortas ahogadas, flautas ahogadas. A torta ahogada is like a sandwich, but we use our own kind of bread.
Bread.
And there's a joke by Maria Niño de Rivera. She makes stand-up.
Okay.
And whenever you come to Mexico and you want to know about food, I don't know, you ask about tacos. What is a taco? Oh, well, a taco is tortilla and chicken, beans, and salsa.
Yeah.
Oh, and what are enchiladas? Tortilla, chicken, salsa.
Yeah.
You can put a little beans on it. Oh, and what are, I don't know, what are memelas? Oh, that's different. Because it's bigger. It's tortilla with beans and chicken
It's
and
the
salsa.
same format.
It's what we Mexicans call the Quantic
Yeah.
superposition of the tortilla.
Uh-huh.
But our food is so different from even from a community to the other. Yes, we eat a lot of tortillas, a lot of tomato, a lot of chilies, but it's always different. And the third thing I love about my country is my culture. I would say it's my culture, and how we have this word which is malinchista.
Uh-huh.
Malinchista is a person. It's a noun. It's a person who only loves Mexico when it benefits them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like
Only uses-
when Cuarón
Yeah.
got the Oscar.
Yeah.
Um, but some people don't actually like Mexico. They like
No.
more things that come from the outside.
They say it when it suits them
Hmm.
that they're Mexican or they have culture and all of this stuff.
But many people do. Many others do. And I
Some-
think it is majority.
Yeah. You have that. Sometimes I've met Indians. I know some Indians, they hate being, well, they don't hate being Indian, but they be embarrassed to say they're Indian because of other Indians. So I don't know if you want to say they're sellout, or I don't know if it's just that they just learn, just people in their own culture make them feel that sort of way, you know? But there's people that I know in different, that just don't like to be called their own, whatever they are, you know?
Yeah, and the thing with Malinchistas is that they don't actually know what we have. They don't actually know how rich, how culturally, how gastronomically rich we are. Our gastronomy is patrimony
Yeah.
by UNESCO. And by the way, Malinchista comes from Malinche. Malinche was the woman
Yeah.
from Tlaxcala, the woman that led Cortés,
Okay.
and she aided Cortés and the Spaniards in the conquest
Wow.
of Mexico. That's why here in Puebla,
Yeah.
not only in Puebla but all over Mexico, we say that Tlaxcala doesn't exist.
Okay.
It's an internal joke. If a person says, "Oh, I'm from Tlaxcala," no, you're not. That doesn't exist. But the thing with them is that they don't understand what we have. And if I ever go to the US or to the UK, I don't know, France, any other country, if I travel, when I travel, I will probably say that I'm Mexican.
Wow.
Because it's in my veins. I have atole in my veins and my skin is copper. So it's not something I can say I'm not. It's part of me, it's part of my culture, part of my history. It's in my heart, and I will never say
Sell your culture for, or sell your background or your
because I'm
ethnic
Mexican.
values for just for people to treat you different, you know? It's like certain people, even racist, black, don't want to call themselves black, or white don't want to call themselves white, like just because they worry or embarrassed of what people would think. But there's bad people in every group and caste and religion and ethnic group, whatever you could think of in the world. No one's perfect, right? No group is perfect. So I think what we've gathered from this, from our conversations as well, is just people can just communicate and get a better understanding of who we are, and we could all get along in some ways, you know? Why do we need to be in such a situation where we're just always at odds with other people from different backgrounds and different whatever?
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I just remember about another problem here in Mexico. There's, of course, there's racism,
Yeah.
but it is not as prominent as classism.
No. Social classes. So
Yeah, if you're poor in Mexico, it doesn't matter if you're indigenous here in Mexico.
So like-
Some people will actually do discrimination
Yeah.
because of that. But if you're poor, you can be an indigenous person. You can speak Nahuatl and not speak a single word of Spanish.
Yep.
But if you have money, people will respect you here.
Money talks.
And that's something really messed up here in Mexico, because we all come from the same place. That's something we can also change. That's something we can also work on. I hope as much as I can by treating people the way they deserve and the way I want to be treated. As Kant says us, we shouldn't act just because of the benefits we can obtain. We should just be ethical and morally correct because it is the thing to do.
Yeah. You know when you said you was an English professor, I didn't believe you because I always think of them as gray hair, Einstein-looking type of people. And I still didn't believe you. I still don't believe you. I need to see a certificate or something. But I think that the way you speak English and the way you come across, it's so true that you are who you are and you speak what you feel. I respect that. And these are the type of people in Puebla in Mexico that I'm trying to get an insight with, you know. We have language barrier, of course. Not everyone speaks English, and my Spanish isn't as good as it can be, but universally we speak one language, which is the language of, it sounds cliche, but love and respect. And that's how we kind of vibe with each other, man. Like, you wouldn't have given me your time otherwise, and this is what makes an impact on the world, because if people see stuff like this, they'll just know that there's someone in Mexico right now in Puebla. Hey, he thinks like me, he speaks like me, he comes across like me, and you're kind of influencing others to be who they are in a way as well, you know. And just speak up, be proud of like things that you're not happy with. Speak up. If you're things you're happy with, speak up, because we share this world together, and without, if we all got along, which is a miracle, but if we all got along, how much better would the world be, man? Mm-hmm. Sadly, it's not. You gotta watch your back for someone to steal something from you, or stab you, or fight with you. It just goes on, and we could blame that on the government. We could blame that on corrupt societies, but as people.
But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility.
That's what I was gonna say. So as people, we just empower ourselves to be good, and don't do something just because someone else is. You know, I've never smoked or cigarettes. I never drank alcohol in my life, but that's not to brag. That's just to say that basically I've just never followed. Like, if you go like places where I'm from in England, like it's just so socially normal. Let's go for a beer, let's smoke weed, let's do drugs, you know. So people have to be more individualist and be like, yo, I don't care if someone doesn't like me because I don't do this, then why should I? That's not a true person, right? You should be yourself.
Social pressure is also really bad for us, especially for the youngs.
Yeah.
It's the first time. That's the reason why I started, why I tried weed for the first time.
Yeah.
Because of social pressure.
Social pressure.
Many people here also rob for the first time because of social pressure. You were born in the ghetto, and if you don't start at a young age, you're going to get eaten alive.
Yep.
So you have to learn, and that's their philosophy.
Yep.
Sadly, but that's the way they think.
One message you have as we end this video, it could be to the world, it could be to
be true to yourself. Just
oh no. Okay. It's fine.
Okay?
It's still okay.
Okay.
The phone
be
got
true to
knocked.
yourself, and just as you said it,
be true to yourself and
do what you need, do what you want, as long as you don't affect others, and be happy. At the end of the day, the only purpose we have on earth, we all are born, we all die. It doesn't matter if you believe in God, if you don't, if you believe, I don't know, in Buddha, like my dean.
yeah.
Life's too short, and it is too short just for us to kill and rob, and we have to enjoy it. We have to find a way to enjoy it.
Omar, it's been a pleasure. Look, we got 50 minutes in this damn video, and we could still go for hours. It's amazing. We're gonna say goodbye. Hasta luego. Thank you for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, and I wish you. I always say this to you whenever I see you. I wish you success in your future, and hopefully your life in 5 years I might see you in England or somewhere, you know.
If you ever come back to Puebla,
I will. I
please
think I
text
will.
me.
I will. I'll hit you up. I'll always be in Puebla. If I go to Mexico City, then I'm always coming to Puebla because they're like neighbors, right? And they're only like 2 hours away. And I feel like I always have to because Mexico City's so crazy. You need a break sometimes. And here's a nice place to have a break. And I'm meeting nice people here as well, so I have an excuse now to come back. But yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.